For Haring, dance was really a symbol of life and coexistence, and that's what we see in this canvas. In this painting, the artist shows a group of his iconic dancing figures entwined in a perpetual movement. It's a celebration of community as much as it is of music, rhythm, and motion. Keith Haring's exceptional Untitled from 1986 really shows an artist at the height of his powers. In its raw energy, sheer compositional force, and amazing intricate drama, Haring is expressing himself as the true artist and real street kid that he was in New York City in the 1980s. But it was really in '78 that Haring moved to New York in order to pursue painting at the School of Visual Arts. When he moved to the Lower East Side, he was completely fascinated by the urban culture, by the streets of New York City, the energy, the music, the pulse that seemed to really captivate him in this formative moment in his career. Haring's first job was as a busboy at the legendary New York City nightclub Danceteria. This was a moment where new wave and punk was really captivating the streets of New York City. Places like the Mud Club, the Palladium, Club 57 were all places that Haring frequented, and he was constantly inspired and motivated by the energy of that scene. This was a life punctuated as much by joy as it was by tragedy. At this moment, in '86, Haring's community was ravaged by the HIV and AIDS crisis. However, as is typical of Haring's work, Haring's message is one of positivity. It's one of generosity of spirit, marked by energy and optimism through to a better future. Haring's dancing figures are carefully placed such that not one overlaps with one another. They are both individual within the mob and yet intricately connected to one another in this maze of line and shape. Their bodies chaotically contorted and yet so precisely positioned in respect to one another, reflecting the spirit of the time. They're at the same time immensely lyrical in the way that the limbs entwine with one another, and yet extremely balanced, conveying an energy that is contained and yet could explode at any given moment. It is a painting that is about joy. It is about reveling in the instant when figures are up against one another in the sweatiness of a New York City dance hall, and really reflects the energy and spirit of Keith at a moment where the world needed him most.